After this, Doc says, I am not doctor in reality. But I will do my best to save the life of Jonathan. Doc moved inside his house taking Jonathan. After a great time when he came out, then there was sadness on his face. All were glancing at him with curious eyes. Jonathan appears from backside before he spoke a single word. All take the sigh of comfort, seeing him. But Jonathan had lost much of his strength right now. Now they all begin to celebrate this happiness. Jonathan and Snow White come close to each other while celebrating and singing songs. Before they approached each other, they got realization of standing among many people. Jonathan and his companions decide before the sun rises that they will move in the forest early in the morning. So the secret place remained its secrecy. And Snow White may save here. Jonathan says before departing, today I am going for 2 days now. I will not be able to return back for this time period. But I promise that we will go to kingdom in search of the king as I return. Snow White hands over her chain here, which had been gifted to her by her dad. She tells that it will remind you to return back. He caught in a trap when he headed to forest. Before this, he could understand anything. Evil Queen's soldiers bring him in the palace. Queen asks him on his arrival, where is Snow White? He tried his best to pretend by saying, I don't know who is Snow White. But the chain around his neck exposed the reality. Pulling this chain, she makes Jonathan throw in the basement. And she herself starts making magic with magical potion. And this evil queen's real face is revealed here. In fact, she is the witch. After this, she drank that magical potion and her condition began worsen. And she turned into an old witch. It was her real appearance. She had transformed her into a beautiful lady through magic. After this, she holds an apple and begins to read the spell of poison and magic. In simple words, she casts a spell on the apple, so that profound sleep may wrap Snow White as she eats this. It is shown here to us that Jonathan was trying to free himself from the cellar. He also found Hitman here. Then Snow White was shown to us after shifting the scene. After this, all dwarfs had gone to their work. She wanted to leave in search of her dad, but an old lady appeared here at the moment. Snow White could not recognize her. This old woman who was actually a witch. She tells Snow White while giving her locket that Jonathan is in a great trouble. Seeing her locket, Snow White sensed that she should save the life of Jonathan. She was about to leave from here, but old lady stops her. She offers her an apple and asks to eat this. You will maintain your energy with this. As your dad quoted, love conquers all. Hearing the touchy words of her dad, she became the victim of witch's trap. And she ate that apple. We saw here that all the animals and birds of dwarfs ran quickly to inform dwarfs about the trouble of Snow White. The darkness began to appear in front of Snow White's eyes as she ate that apple. She started to feel dizziness. She asked, what was in this? The evil witch spoke the same words here which were used to utter by that evil queen. As a result, Snow White came to know that she was that evil queen, who used to consider Snow White her bitter enemy. Now Snow White went in profound sleep. The dark storm cloud spread over this kingdom, and that evil witch disappeared from here, turning into the smoke. And when all dwarfs and animals came to Snow White back, in state of sadness, they found Snow White lying down. They thought, Snow White is no more. They could not do anything but make her lie down at a place and cover her with flowers. It was shown in the cellar of palace that Hitman and Jonathan had broken the wall of that place. On the opposite of this wall, there was a way of water leading to forest. Hitman encourages Jonathan, who runs to forest immediately. He observes there some animals. He makes him aware from the chaos of them that something has surely wrong. As he reaches near the house of dwarfs, he becomes distressed seeing dead Snow White. He sat near Snow White mournfully and kissed Snow White. Snow White came into conscious as he kissed, and her joy filled everyone. Coming into senses, she told Jonathan that it is all happening because of the evil queen. She is actually a witch. She is the one who had sent my dad to war after planning this. And she herself ended the king, commanding her own men. They were discussing all of this right now. That a single snowflake falls on Snow White's hand. Seeing this, Snow White decided that the time has come when I will have to take a control of everything. And she will have to save her kingdom from the evil queen after fighting her. Now she will have to give the services of that queen to her nation which they deserve, who may spread love there and turn their circumstances to betterment. As Snow White returns to her kingdom, a glimmer of hope appears on the faces of her kingdom's people. And all reach in front of the place, chasing Snow White. The evil queen herself comes to them down, noticing the rebellious attitude of the people and Snow White. She holds a rose in one hand and sword in the other. And she addresses to the people, "Look, only beauty and power are made for throne." Then she burns the rose, blowing on it, and says, "Look, only power has left to rule the throne." She provokes Snow White to fight. But Snow White begins reminding the soldiers their good memories instead of fighting. When they used to be kind-hearted in the times of the king. They used to care one another. And their lives were comfortable. Snow White says to them, "It is only a short while away, when there was peace in the kingdom. Everyone was joyful. Justice was for everyone. I am only wanting to restore this for this kingdom." Disarming themselves, evil queen's soldiers show us that they will stand by Snow White. Observing this, that all her power is being lost. She starts to attack Snow White, but someone throws his knife from her hand while shooting his arrow. And it is seen that he was a dwarf who had saved Snow White's life. Now all dwarfs approach her who had taken steps to help Snow White and the people. Now evil queen moves inside the palace in rage where her magical mirror was placed. The magical mirror was observing everything. Evil queen again talks with mirror and asks it, "Speak, mirror, who is most beautiful in this world?" The mirror speaks, "The most beautiful in this world is Snow White, and she will remain. Her beauty is not in her appearance, but in her heart. She will rule the hearts of the people because of her kind-heartedness and justice." It says to the queen, "Your beauty never touched your heart. Your outer beauty cannot do anything." She breaks this mirror in fury, hurling something at it. The mirror is broken in countless fragments, and the body of evil queen is also shattered. Turning into black smoke, her body transfers into that magical mirror. And the evil queen is captured in this magical mirror for lifetime. And we know through this, all powers of this evil queen were dependent on this magical mirror. Snow White holds her throne after the end of the evil queen. The joy spreads throughout this kingdom with the reign of Snow White. This captivating story ends here with it. How did you like the story? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more stories like this.